So Peter Svensson has been pushing the fashion industry towards circularity already for years. Currently as a co-founder of Continued Fashion, but let's go right back to the beginning. People might know you from the company Vigga. It's a Danish company that rents out baby clothing. Through the rental model, you increase the utilization and therefore increase circularity. So let's go back to the idea and the beginning of Vigga. What problem did you try to solve with that business model?
Actually, it started before. We had another kidswear brand at that time, 20 years ago. Just happened to be a father, and my wife, she was not interested in the designs at that time. So she thought everything she wanted to sew her own clothes. So she did. And her uncle was an entrepreneur himself and said, why don't you make a business out of it? If you like it, maybe someone else will like it. So we started a brand, and that brand just took off with Scandinavian fashion for kids with 700% each year. So everything was fine and it was nice until one day. At that time, we didn't go to our manufacturers. We just made the designs, and a middleman would produce them for us. But at one time, after 2 years in, we thought, why don't we go there and have a look? So we did. And the idea was, when we came, we just saw this is not for kids. It was absolutely a chain of losers making that product.
It was what?
A chain of losers, if you looked at the supply chain somehow. So it was something that we just, out of pure indignity, said, okay, we can't have that growth, that product, and at least not when we are doing a kids product. So we wanted to change that, and we just started to engage with questions of how to do it. We didn't know anything about it, but finding partners and finding some suppliers who were able to help and had the mindset of, okay, we want to do it, so also be decisive about it. We started to change, outphase chemicals, do a very, very nice standard product that 10 years after thinking, okay, now we are superheroes, it's so perfect. We just started looking at how did the users actually use the product. Kids grow, clothes do not. So we actually come to this epiphany that after 10 years, we had made a pile of 1 million pieces of clothes. So maybe we could do it better. Maybe if you look at the usership, so when kids outgrow their clothes in 1 month and needs to have new clothes in 3 months and so on, maybe we can do a model where it's good for business and it's good for the parents, and then also look at the consumption even more.
And that was the beginning of Vigga.
That was the beginning of Vigga. So we actually had the other company closed to be decisive, and then we had already had high quality of products. So we knew that it was not a problem doing high quality that could be long-lasting and could make a revenue model of it, but we didn't know how the cultural aspects would be. So that was on the fly, we tested all that. But we built a new product designed for circular economy. That means also it had design changes for it. And also we built a software solution around it. So it's 2 parts now, product and a brand, and also a tech solution. Because we needed the tech to have that circulation of the products going.
And then you moved on to Continued Fashion. So what were the challenges?
Kind of, because we learned a lot in doing with the kidswear service. So it was the idea already at the initiation of the company was to let's demonstrate it can be done. So we wanted to work on going to a more generic solution for other people to use. So that's why we founded ultimately Continued Fashion, which is now a platform that is a white label one that all brands can use to get experience and hands-on experience with running circular economy.
So it starts at a microchip, but it's much more than that, right?
I have one microchip in my pocket.
Can we show it to the audience?
Yeah, you can show it. My hands are too small or large.
I will show you to that. It's this small.
Yeah.
Could fit into your seam.
Yeah. It's just a number. So we use those to identify in some scanning points where the inventory are, because you have a lot of depots. Plus suddenly you have your own warehouse. You have it in the transit between users. You have it in the cleaning facility, the maintenance part, or maybe at a user. So you need to be transparent to know where your goods are. So that's one part of the reason we use this one. The other one is to collect data. So we can know exactly each product that is unique, where it has been, and learn from it. So we can pick up from quality, what is the best quality for service, and how to better it. So we can give design feedback back to the design teams.
And what can brands do with this technology? How can they apply it?
Simply, via the software, they get data crunching that will show them performance of lifetime or which maintenance points are there. A good example would be that if you wash your clothes a lot, the big surfaces will look nice, but a bend like this would start to wear before the big surfaces. So how to design that in a maintenance system even better would be one of the stuff you could look at by these data.
And where is it now? Is it already being used by brands? Are you still in a prototyping phase?
We have with the Danish top label called Ganni. They are launching here the first pilot after the summer. And we're also running with by Marina Bio, another top Danish company, some tests. And then we have people in the pipeline. So it's starting to happen for these brands. And it's easy to understand why, because it's already been productized. So there's a system where you can sandbox a circular retail experience, and you can do it agile and fast, and come out with some clear, successful criteria to decide in 6 months where to go from there. So it can be done now.
And in what kind of business models does this make most sense? Because you are familiar with like the rental model, the lease model, but can you also apply this in other types of circular business models?
I think you can do it in many things, but what we just try to do is try to see if there's a vertical or horizontal that can be examined actually by the brands who are now running on the platform. So you could rent, you could keep it at home if you fall in love with it, you could trade it in again, you can go on a subscription, let's say with a capsule for office, or do it in many, many ways, just to find a point where it gets to be a seamless new channel. So any way you want to dress is actually the visions here. Because I guess we all followed trends and fashion throughout our life. So not a question of how much we spend or how much we discarded, but what we want to do now. So we can build solutions around where it gets much more attractive to be a user in fashion. And first of all, fashion is about to be fun. And if you want future generations to have the same possibilities to express themselves with clothes, well, there needs to be a planet also. So it needs to be much more thoughtful as well. But can you be expressful in the paradigm between also acting good and also it works for the business? Well, then we have something interesting going on, I think. So it's, from my experience, so much more effective to reuse products, and also data shows it that it's up to 3,000% more effective to reuse this shirt again compared to if you took a fishnet and tried to make them into a pair of shorts, for instance. So it makes sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Svensson.
Thank you.